Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with a review and an install of the CPE Austenite Axle-Back Exhaust system fitting the 2015 and up EcoBoost Mustang. We're going to be talking about a few different things with this exhaust today, but mainly we'll talk about the sound of the axle-back, the materials, and the install. The install for this is easy. It's a 2 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter since there is some cutting involved, but I'll get more into that later. The CPE Austenite Axle-Back Exhaust system is going to be something that you should check out if you're looking for one of the top-of-the-line, high-quality stainless steel axle-backs that produces more of a toned-down exhaust note. The CPE here isn't very loud, but it is a definite upgrade over the factory exhaust. I think that by steering away from an overly loud system, CPE was able to create an axle-back that doesn't have an obnoxious 4-cylinder turbo car sound to it. You do still get some of that sound with this axle-back. It doesn't completely eliminate it, but facing the facts, the EcoBoost is a 4-cylinder turbo car, so that's what it's going to sound like. There are some axle-backs that enhance that sound, and some that give the EcoBoost a little bit of a different sound. I would say that the CPE here is in the middle of that spectrum. It doesn't make the EcoBoost sound exactly like an import, but it isn't the smoothest sounding axle-back for the EcoBoost either. Like I said earlier, this is louder than the factory exhaust and deeper, but I wouldn't really say that it gets too loud in the upper RPMs. It barely has a change in noise on decel, which is part of the reason why I say that this is a little bit of a smoother sound to it. The smoother sounding exhausts are usually the ones that give the EcoBoost a sound different than an import. So at the end of the day, I'm going to call this one a 2 out of 5 on the loudness scale, with 1 being very quiet and 5 being the loudest. This axle-back can get even louder if you ever decide to change anything down the road, like your mid-pipe or your down-pipe. And keep in mind that you're still fully catted and that there are a ton of different axle-back options for the EcoBoost if this one isn't what you're looking for. Other than the sound, this axle-back is made from 304 stainless steel, which is top-notch when it comes to exhaust materials. 304 stainless steel will hold up to the elements the best, and you won't have any corrosion, whereas materials like aluminite steel tend to fail over time. And on top of the stainless steel, this axle-back also has a Titan finish for added durability. This is a satin finish that's going to look good, but you're only really going to see the tips anyway, but this is just another level of protection for the stainless steel. You're also looking at 2 3/4 inch piping here and 4-inch tips that have that same satin finish. When it comes to price, I mentioned this earlier, but the CPE here is going to be on the more top dollar side. But you are getting a full 2 3/4 inch stainless steel axle-back that fits well and delivers a different type of sound. You can expect to pay just over $700 for this, but don't worry. If this is out of your price range, there are a ton of other axle-backs available for the EcoBoost with different price points, so you can always check those out. You're going to be looking at the typical cut and clamp design with the install for this axle-back, since you need to cut all S550 axle-backs. I'm going to call this a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the scale, but just because of the cutting that's involved. It's nothing difficult, but I just recommend some eye protection and a fresh blade to make the cutting easier. Overall, you're looking at about 2 hours to get this all done. A lift would certainly make things easier for you here, but the job can be done on jack stands as well if you don't have access to one. Cutting the factory axle-back isn't hard. Just be sure to measure twice and plan to mark where you'll be cutting so you don't make a mistake. The new axle-back will come with new clamps for you, so you don't have to worry about that. When you go to install your new setup, it'll probably be easiest to leave everything loose until you have it all lined up and then tighten it down. Wrapping things up here with the CPE Austenite Axle-Back Exhaust. This is a 2 3/4 inch stainless steel axle-back that's going to give a bump in volume, but it's pretty calm at the same time. It's a smoother sounding axle-back that doesn't have drone or distortion to it, and as always, you can check it out more online right here at AmericanMuscle.com.